Good evening, 7:03 p.m. and I'm down at what is arguably one of the best harbours on the planet, Sydney Harbour, and I'm faced with a little bit of a dilemma. I've got to decide if there's enough cloud for me to shoot into the sun and get that sunset colour, or go onto the other side of the bridge and shoot with the golden light sort of lighting up my subject. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to try both, and my thinking is this: I'm going to find a spot shooting towards the sun with the light hopefully lighting up the sky and the clouds above the bridge, and then once the sun has gone down I'll have a little bit of time to run across the other side of the bridge, not on the other side of the harbour but on the other side of the bridge, and find a location to shoot the bridge as all the lights come on in the city and the lights on the bridge come on. So I'll be able to get something a little bit spectacular there as well, I'm hoping. I'll find myself a spot down here, a lot of it's sort of shut off, and see if I can get a good shot. Well, not the sunset I was hoping for, but I'm down here doing my best. So the sun's starting to set now just behind the harbour bridge there, and after the sun goes down I'll shoot across the other side to try and get the night lights. My composition is with the 16 to 35mm lens on, so you can see there it is there, and I've got the circular polarizing filter on, trying to help me get the sky more dramatic and the reflection out of the water. But you can sort of see my composition there. So I've been taking a couple of shots, but nothing too spectacular, unfortunately, tonight. Luckily it's one of the most beautiful cities in the world, and even if the sunset's not as spectacular as it could be, it's always spectacular. So I've got an ISO 64, f9 1/25 of a second, and just because that's a good, f9's good for this lens, everything's nice and sharp throughout the range. As you know, I always like my ISO to be as low as I can go, so I get into my base ISO is ISO 64, which I've done here. The shutter speed, I'll let it take care of itself because I've got it on aperture priority mode. And aperture priority mode means that the camera will work out the best shutter speed based on the aperture, because what I'm interested in more than anything is the depth of field and getting the maximum sharpness out of this lens. And because I'm on a tripod, shutter speed's not important. What's important is that I'm getting the best possible depth of field and the most sharpness out of this lens. So f9's giving me sort of now 1/20th of a second. It's going to keep reducing as the light reduces, and I'll probably stand here till the lights come on the bridge, and then we'll move across to the other side. So a bit of colour in the sky now, so I'm just getting a few more shots. The camera's gone down to 1/8 of a second. Let's have a look at that. I don't know if you can see the colour in that sky yet. And we'll wait a bit more and we should get a little bit more colour in those clouds. The colour's starting to bounce off of the clouds up there, which is cool. Well, the sun's just about set. You can have a look over there, it's just about below the horizon, and I've got a couple of shots, but the colour wasn't magnificent. Just waiting for the lights to come on the bridge now, and we'll see what I get. I think that'll sort of liven things up a bit, so I don't think it'll be very long and the lights will come on. Hopefully they turn them on very shortly. But, besides that, the sunset was fairly mild and meek, which meant that we didn't get anything amazing, but we at least got out. We're doing some photography, which is a bit of fun in a beautiful city. So you never know who you're going to meet when you're out doing photography. I met Mauricio from Vancouver, Canada.
Hello.
Yeah, he's a keen photographer. He's over here on a conference, and just happened to forget his tripod and his wide-angle lens. Because I have lots and lots of photos of this bridge, I'm going to let Mauricio use my tripod and my lens to try and get a beautiful shot to take home with him. So
Ben is the best.
Good stuff. Well, it's 7:47 p.m. Mauricio's still over here enjoying the tripod and the wide-angle lens, getting some good shots, loving it. The lights have just come on the harbour bridge. Some beautiful colour behind the harbour bridge. He's going to have to share some of these shots with us afterwards, because I think they're going to be brilliant. On that note, what I want to do, something that is absolutely brilliant that I want to say thank you for, is that just before recording this video I checked my subscriber count and we were 25 subscribers off of 5,000. So I want to say thank you to those of you that have subscribed and tune in every week to watch the videos. 5,000 is a huge milestone for me. I never thought there'd be 5,000 people that want to watch my videos. So it's interesting how quickly it has grown. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos, and if you are enjoying this video, make sure you give it the thumbs up, make sure you hit the subscribe button, share it, let people know about my YouTube channel. I'd love to have you stick around. Well, I think I made his night. He wanted to do a panoramic with his camera, but he forgot his tripod. He came all the way from Canada, and one of the things on his bucket list was to photograph a panoramic a photo of the Harbour Bridge, and he forgot his he forgot his tripod and his wide-angle lens. So you know, it's always good to do something good. I got plenty of photos of this old girl, the old Harbour Bridge, so happy to help him out and make sure he got a good photo. I think he was pretty happy with it. Not sure if we'll see his photos, but I'm sure they'll be good anyway. I'm sure they'll be great. So I'm going to head across to the other side of the Harbour Bridge now and see if I can just get some sort of blue hour shots before the sun goes all the way down, and hopefully we'll get some better images. Before I head over the other side of the Harbour Bridge, I better do the one thing that Sydney is unfortunately renowned for, and that is check my parking meter. So I've still got 29 minutes and 50 seconds. I wonder if I can just increase that a bit. Won't let me increase it. That's all right. I'll just have to come back quickly. Let's go, eh? So I know I said I'd never, or I rarely move my shot or composition. Today's one of those days where I'm breaking that rule. I nearly fell over then. Where I'm breaking that rule, simply because the sunset wasn't that good over there, and I probably would have moved half an hour earlier, except Mauricio, who I met there. I could see him struggling to get a shot. He had his camera on the ground and was trying to balance his camera to get I think a longer exposure. So this is actually one of my favourite compositions in Sydney. That above us there is the Harbour Bridge, and I'm directly underneath it, so you can sort of see the city over there, the Opera House out to the left. It actually works quite well, especially with a wide angle lens, if you can sort of grab a lot more than that. And we're sort of going to go a little bit more west out that way, down here, and see if we can get a better shot. Check out that view. Are you grabbing a shot that way? Are they in your way, or?
No, it's a long exposure.
Long exposure? Cool.
Really, I'm not going to get you down.
Just another photographer there doing a long exposure. Didn't want to get in the way. Wasn't sure what she was doing, but she's taking a long exposure. I'm not sure what of, but maybe doing it to eliminate all the people in a shot, because if you don't know that trick, it's a great trick. If you want to get a shot and there's a lot of people in your shot, then you can do it with a really long exposure. It works well. The long exposure means that you don't actually capture any of the people, and your shot ends up being crystal clear, clean of any traffic. It works really well. Give it a go. This is the composition I'm looking at. What do you think? I've got myself set up down here under the Harbour Bridge now, facing that direction. Because it's a lot darker now, we're getting a much longer shutter speed, and I'll just show you my composition and what I'm going for, because I think people are always interested to know sort of what sort of a composition I'm going for. So you'll see, so I'm sort of going for, you know, the Opera House is underneath the bridge there, the bridge. I don't know if you can see that, but it's actually got a fair bit of the walkway and the steps in the shot, and that's you know, just brings that foreground into the shot. So just grabbing another shot now. One of the challenges in a busy spot like this is the amount of people, but I'm doing long exposure, so not necessarily going to see them in my shot, and yeah, it's working out pretty good actually. Let me show you. So the real trick here is getting that foreground interest, and if you sort of, I should walk you through how I've composed the shot so you can understand what I'm talking about. That's sort of the shot that I'm getting out of my camera. So let me just put it next to it so you can see, sort of like that. And the reason I've done it like that is I really like this here, the foreground, this leading line from the steps here, this fence line that also draws the eye in, and then you've got this other angle on the top of the bridge here that's sort of doing something completely different, but it works really well, and it sort of frames the whole thing there. If you look at that in there, frames the Opera House and the buildings in the city, and as a composition goes, I really like the way that works. So one of the things that I have had to do, just so you can see, is I've had to drop the exposure value on the camera down a little bit, because if you look at the flashing highlights, you'll see there's flashing highlights. Now this is at -1. And if I go down, you'll see I've got it at -1, and I've still got flashing highlights. Now, it's bunched down to the left because there's a lot of dark sky, but sometimes it's really important for you to check because it's easy to get caught up in looking at the screen to see whether or not the photo's good, but because there's flashing highlights, I know straight away that some areas are overexposed. Now, it's the lights in the building, it's not that important, but certainly, you know, something that you want to think about. I'm pretty happy with the shots that I've got, and I'm just going to pack it up now and get out of here. I've got about 10 minutes left on that parking meter, and the last thing you want to get in the city is a parking ticket because they're not cheap. So I'll pack up, get the camera home, I'll go and have some dinner, and then yeah, I'll get this video processed, stick it up on the net.